G'day. In this episode, we're exploring the Port Stephens area just north of Newcastle. We're taking a couple of great lookouts for some awesome views, visit some World War II relics, and have a short yarn about our caravan while we board it. We are Vicky and Zach. Yeah, g'day everyone. It's movement day today. We've left the Maitland Showground and we're heading to the coast, going over to Nelson Bay area, and we've booked ourselves for 3 nights camping in Fingal Bay. So should be right on the beach there. Looking forward to exploring those beaches in that area. Also catching up with an old mate of mine who I haven't seen in about 15, 16 years, so that should be fun. Hoping the weather improves a little bit so we can take advantage of the nice beaches over there. But yeah, looking forward to getting onto the coast for a little bit, get away from downtown Maitland.
Exit the roundabout on the Nelson Bay Road.
Well, good morning everybody. As you can see, we've set up camp here at Fingal Bay. This is in the Nelson Bay area, just north of Newcastle. We've come back to the coast, and once again the weather's just not turning it on for us. It's pretty overcast and cloudy. It's been raining here this morning. A little bit of blue sky in the distance, so we are hoping that it's going to brighten up at some point today. But the weather forecast for the next few days isn't looking great, but it is what it is. We'll make the most of it. The campground itself, fairly standard campground for a fairly, bit of an urbanised built-up area. They're not really made for their locations and views or anything like that, are they? They're just generally made for get as many people in here as we can, and of course we're here to see the beaches and all the surrounding views anyway, so it's not like we want to hang out here at the caravan park. But yeah, it's not too bad. Facilities are pretty good. Only a short walk up there just to where the bathrooms are. Nice hot showers and toilets. Vicky's a real bargain hunter, so she's done really well with this campground. Normally it's about $49 a night to stay here, but we found out through a little deal that if you stay here for minimum of 3 nights and you include a Tuesday on that, you get the Tuesday night for free. So it's working out to be around about $33 a night for our 3-night stay here. So that's pretty good for a campground, and there's hardly anyone here, as you can see. It's winter, not school holidays or anything like that, so not a bad little way to save some money, which is what we're trying to do at the moment. Most of the time we're hoping to do a lot of free camping and not pay for too much campgrounds, but east coast of New South Wales, it's always pretty difficult anyway to find free camps right on the coast. Anyway, we're going to explore a few of the beaches. The good thing about this place here is that straight across the road is the beach, so we're going to get over there and have a bit of a look a bit later. So guys, I'm just going to introduce you to our Caravan. This is a 2018 Highline Enforcer. We did buy it second hand, but the original owners, they barely used it, so it was almost like brand new. So the reason why it caught our eyes, it just looked really cool from the pictures that we saw right from the word go, particularly at the front and the rear of the Caravan. You can see at the front of the Caravan here behind me, it's got a really cool slogan on top there, which says, well, home is where we park it. You know, that just says it all. So that stood out to us right from the beginning. But honestly, the rear is where it's all really about. When we saw the rear of the Caravan, we were just like, wow, you know, that pretty awesome sunset picture with a map of Australia over the top of it. You know, it just says wow to us every time we look at it, and we've had plenty of travellers walking past it, and you can really notice them admiring it. And we've even had quite a few other caravanners and travellers or campers just coming up and giving us great compliments about it. So that really set it apart from the rest of the other caravans that we were looking at. And you're certainly not going to miss us if you're driving down past us on the highway. But you can't purely buy a Caravan on looks alone, can you? So the two main things that we were looking for in a Caravan was that one, that we could go off-road, and two, that we could camp off-grid. And this Caravan ticked both of those boxes. So as you can see, it's got some pretty heavy-duty suspension on it. It's got Oztrekker independent trailing arm suspension with twin shock absorbers on each side, pretty much making it fully capable of going most places we want to explore. So there you have it guys, that's the system set up underneath our bed there. And as you can see, there are two huge lithium batteries amounting to about 560 amps. We've got a Victron 3000 watt inverter to the right of that. We've got 740 watts of solar panels on the roof. We've got the Red Arc DC to DC charger, and then we've also got a couple of solar control systems there, one for the roof solar and one if we want to connect up an external solar blanket or solar panel. So on the wall here beside me, this is the battery monitoring system display board, and this way we can look at this and see what's coming into the system, what's going out on the system, and just pretty much check that it's all running correctly and as it should be. So we are going to do another episode on the Caravan in the near future. I'll just go into a bit more depth about it. I'll explain a bit more about the off-grid system, the costs of the upgrades that we've done to the Caravan, changes that we've had to make to it, the Caravan's weight issues, and what we'd wish we'd known before buying it. That gives you a bit of an insight into our home on wheels, and if you want to learn a bit more about it in the future, just look out for that episode. Yeah, as you can see, weather hasn't really improved that much. A bit drier at least today, but yeah, bloody windy as, and yeah, still overcast. But anyway, we're going to make the most of it, get out and have a look at a few things around. This is a lookout that up here at Fingal Bay. See out there to the big islands. That's Fingal Bay Island out there. They've got a lighthouse, and you used to be able to walk across there using a sand spit, but the sand spit's out of action these days, so a bit too dangerous to walk across. But anyway, we'll get around and see a few sights in the Nelson Bay area today, and try and make the most of a bit of dry weather at least. everybody. This is sort of a really awesome lookout to be able to see the whole area around Nelson's Bay. That's Port Stephens out behind us there, where all the water is, all the different little towns that are dotted all the way around. And funnily enough, that's where we were camping a couple of weekends ago over at Hawk's Nest and Jimmy's Beach. So yeah, this is a top little spot up here. You see all the mountains out the back there. Hoping to maybe climb one of those ones a little bit later today, but yeah, the weather's coming in. Oh, we're just not looking out, but here's what it is. But yeah, it's pretty awesome up here at Gangan though for the views. Right, that's what I'm hiking. Tomaree Headland. About 2.2 k's return, going up right up to the top. They reckon there's pretty good views for the whole region up there, so hopefully it's worth it. Still recovering from a broken ankle, which happened to me about 3.5 months ago, so hopefully my ankle holds up all right. It'll be certainly the biggest strain I'll put it through for a while. But yeah, let's get into it, eh? No worries, so it took about 25 minutes, so it's even though it's kind of steep, the track's in really good condition, and yeah, a few stairs and pathways involved, but yeah, you'll make it up to the top pretty easy if you're at reasonable fitness. Pretty windy up here, as you can probably hear through the microphone, but yeah, not bad views. That's how it's looking over back towards Hawk's Nest and Tea Gardens. Oh, we've got an eagle up there, check that one out. A few lovely islands out there in the distance. The main one in the far distance, which a lot of people know is Caravan Island. Yeah, pretty good views from up the top here, well worth the walk. We'll go around and check out the other side as well. Right, so this is the other side of the lookout. You can see the pretty beaches down there below us, which leads over to the spit. So that spit's there is the one that goes out to Fingal Bay or Fingal Island. On the end of Fingal Island, you might be able to see a little lighthouse out there at Point Stephens. Used to be able to walk across that spit, but these days, due to rising tides and the shifting of the sands, it's just too dangerous nowadays, so the only way to get there is by boat. It's a petrel breeding island, so pretty important to petrel birds, and you do see quite a few around when you're out walking along the coastline. Even saw a shark earlier. There was a shark just down here, and there's been sightings of a fair few whales off here as well. So the little town down below us, that's Shoal Bay down there. Further in the distance, you might be able to see a mountain there with some aerials and big stands on top there. That's Gangan Lookout, where we were a bit earlier today. Also, Tomaree Headland is a piece of Australian World War II history. This is Fort Tomaree, built in 1942 to protect the Newcastle steelworks and the aerodrome at Williamtown, which were accessible via Port Stephens. The fort consisted of several large guns, torpedo tubes, rifle pits, and accommodation, among many other things. Well, that's me done, back down to the bottom where I started from. So I reckon all up, probably about an hour and 15 minutes to get right to the top, 161 metres up at the summit, then just to get around to the gun emplacement stations, and then to make my way back down here where I started from. So yeah, not too bad, an hour and 15 minutes. Like I said, I've got a bad ankle, which is still recovering from when I broke it 3.5 months ago. So yeah, if you're reasonably fit, you'll be able to get to the top and back no problem whatsoever. I reckon I'm going to pay for my ankle tomorrow a little bit, but it was well worth the effort to get up the top there. Yes. So yeah, last thing I'll mention about the walk as well. It's inside a national park, so that's why I'm doing it by myself. We couldn't bring the dog along, unfortunately. Not that he probably would have got to the top because he's got pretty bad arthritis in the back of his legs. But yeah, Tomaree National Park, Tomaree Headland. Just bear that in mind if you've got a furry friend. Right guys, so this morning we're doing the responsible thing and we're taking our caravan to a specialist, engineering specialist who can upgrade the suspension on our caravan. So our GTM and ATM, our gross trailer mass as well as our aggregate trailer mass, are probably just that little bit over where they should be. So we're doing the right thing. We're going to get it upgraded for safety reasons, and as well we can feel happy in ourselves that we know that the caravan's not going to be overweight with the suspension that we've got. It's probably one of the issues that you've got when you're travelling around with a single axle caravan is you don't have a lot of payload. So yeah, if we get it upgraded, we'll feel good. And yeah, we know that if we got pulled over, we would be all okay as well. Okay, so we've just been to the engineer. It's hard to know really what they do. All he did is took a bunch of photos of various different things around the caravan, such as the coupling, the VIN plate, underneath it the suspension, things like that, and then just said, yep, I just got to send this paperwork off and get a new plate done for the caravan, and it's going to be all upgraded. So we go from a GTM of 2.5 to 2.7 and an ATM of 2.7 to 3,050. So I don't know how come caravan companies just can't do that anyway. If to make sure you get a higher ATM and a higher GTM, I really don't know how it works. And the engineer was a bit strange, so I can't really ask him the reason why, but anyway, at least we can now carry a bit more weight if we need to, not that we're really planning to, and if we get pulled over, we're safe, we're legal, and if, touch wood, if we happen to be in an accident or anything like that, and our insurance company is looking into our caravan and the weight, we're going to be safe. So just feel better that way more than anything else. Alright guys, that's about all from me. It's just about the weekend now and we're catching up with our mothers this weekend, and then we're also going to Sydney to visit some friends. So we're having a little break from the caravan. But if you've got any questions or comments about the episode, please don't hesitate to put them in and I'll do my very best to get back to you and answer you. And hopefully we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one. Adios.